were already doing the car, were already selling cars. So they kind of gave me that interest because I could see them in very fancy cars, and I really liked the business. And I've always had that business side of me since I was a small boy. I already reserved the vehicle for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I need what's called?
The chassis number.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me send it right now.
Okay, do that right now.
Okay. It's very difficult to, wake up one day and just start a company. You normally have to start from somewhere. Personally, for me, I was first employed at a car dealership in Lavington. It's called Ocean Cross Autos. They gave me a job when I was a very small boy. I was actually 18 years old. So I remember very well, it was on a Friday. I just walked in. After going to very many places, I told them I really had an interest in cars. At first, everybody thought I was crazy, the guys at the dealership. But after talking to the owner very well, I somehow got the job. So I worked at Ocean Cross for 2 years. And then I quit after working for 2 years. And then I decided to go freelance. So I did freelance for another 2 years. Then early this year is when I finally made that big break and I was able to start this company. The company is very young. So at the moment we only have 3 employees. We have a guy who takes care of our local stock. We have our own vehicles in Kenya which we sell in the local market. So we have a guy who cleans the vehicles at Diamond Plaza. We also have another chap called Anthony. He's the guy in charge of sales. And we have a nice lady called Marianne. She's our admin. She handles the office for us because there are many times when you're not at the office. So when you come to the office, you normally find Marianne there. She's always at hand to assist our clients. So that makes 3 employees. The first car we ever shipped was it was a BMW X1 around 2018. I sold it to a certain lady called Naomi. I can still remember the number plate. It was a KCS pearl white BMW X1. She probably doesn't know it was the first car we ever shipped. Yeah, she just risked and somehow we delivered and we did a very good job. Ndo watatuma Sawa. We have established a very good network in places like Singapore. Singapore is my main market. Then another place where we also have a lot of contacts is Japan. So basically the process is, if you come to us, you tell us we are looking for a specific vehicle, I will just call my contacts in Singapore and Japan. Once we meet a vehicle that meets your standards or meets your expectations, we will share the photos, we'll share all the details, a brochure, then you can come to the office. We normally do a sale agreement that normally handles the legal aspect of it. It's like a contract of sorts that says we will ship the car for you, we will guarantee that the vehicle will arrive. So yeah, and then you make the payment, we send the money to our partners in Japan or Singapore, and then the vehicle is shipped. It takes typically 45 days. So here we have the station wagon version of the popular Audi A4. The Germans call it the Avant, the Audi A4 Avant. The A4 Avant is offered with a 2-liter engine. It comes with Quattro all-wheel drive. Another cool feature about this particular unit, it has a panoramic sunroof. And there's also the option of leather seats, Bluetooth connectivity, and it's also very fast. It goes from 0 to 100 in around 6 seconds, which is quite impressive for a station wagon. So we can move on to the next vehicle in our catalog. This is the British Jaguar. We sourced this particular unit from Japan. It's a 2-liter petrol version with a popular ZF gearbox. The ZF is one of the most common gearboxes in the world right now. It's an 8-speed gearbox and it's found on everything from BMWs to Audis, Jaguars and even Bentleys. So personally I think this is one of my favorite vehicles in the fleet. But unfortunately or fortunately we've already sold it and someone has already reserved it. So the next item on our list is this very, very beautiful Mercedes C180. This is one of the most popular items on our stock list. again, this particular unit has already been sold, but we actually got it from, we got this one from Singapore. It's a very unique color, and another interesting feature about it, number one is it has a body kit. You can see the design at the bottom of the bumper. Another cool aspect are the rims. The rims are AMG inspired rims. You know, Mercedes has a high performance division which they call AMG, and at times, if you're lucky enough, you can get a normal Mercedes but with the AMG trimming. Now this C180 happens to be one of those units, which it has a normal engine. It actually has a 1500cc engine, 1590cc to be very precise, but it has the features you'd find on an AMG. For instance, the rims, the body kit, and also the seats. The seats are what we call bucket seats. They kind of hug you when you sit into them. Lastly but not least, it has a 7-speed gearbox. Mercedes called their version of the 7-speed gearbox the 7G-tronic. And there's also the option of a push-button start. We did a few customizations at the request of the client. For instance, we put bigger tires. The tires are actually slightly large to handle our roads, and we also raised the suspension a bit using springs. Yeah, then there's also the fancy lights. I don't want to call them sirens, but they are lights, the fancy lights. So this is a BMW X1. We recently did a trade-in. We actually have trade-in arrangements where you can bring your older vehicle, trade it for a newer vehicle. You just get to top up some money, and we give you a better vehicle. This has a 3000cc engine. It's an M Sport, not very common. Most X1 units are normally 2000cc. And it also comes with other extras, including Alcantara seats, M Sport rims. M Sport is more or less like the AMG line version which we mentioned earlier. The real M Sport is actually a high performance division within BMW. They make very high powered cars. But as an option, BMW normally gives its clients the option of having, you can get a normal vehicle with M Sport extras. This vehicle has some of those M Sport extras, including the custom paint on the grille too. Yeah, it looks a bit scary, kidogo, so to say, but it's not a real M Sport. I don't want people to go to the comments section and start throwing stones at me. Yeah, so the interior is pretty interesting. Black Alcantara. Again, you also get the bucket seats, the ones that hug you. There's also the option of iDrive. iDrive is a infotainment suite. It has the option of you get all your options in one location. You have the radio, the DVD player, the navigation, the vehicle settings. Basically, the vehicle tells you everything from one screen. Well, the biggest challenge, personally for me, and I don't want to make the government look bad, I will say it's taxes. The taxes are really bad. I mean, the taxes on used cars in Kenya are really bad. Because we are talking of, first of all, we never get consulted, which is a big challenge for many of us. Because, for example, right now, the tax on a specific car could be 500,000. Then the next year, the government wakes up one day and changes the tax to 800. So that to us has been a very major challenge because it makes us lose business. Because you see, a client can identify a very nice car, but when mkienda kufanya the calculation for the taxes, apart the tax is very high, the client is not going to buy the vehicle. So in most cases, the client will end up buying a vehicle locally, mostly a used vehicle locally, an older car, instead of importing. And you see, at times, there's normally an advantage with importing because some of these cars we buy from Japan or Singapore are actually very modern. Some even have what people call Euro 5 technology, Euro 6. So we feel very bad when we lose business because the taxes are very high. Another challenge we're experiencing is I think there's a problem with how the government supports young people in business. You find like some of the policies they make are not in sync with what young people like me want. You'll find that maybe some people will sit in a cabinet office somewhere, make some policies, but those policies zikikuja kwa ground, they don't really help us. So those are some of the challenges we experience. Personally, for me, my greatest inspiration is God. I'm a very religious person. I wouldn't say like I'm extremely religious, but I'm a very spiritual person, and the fact that I know that God is on my side and we are doing a good job. We're not stealing anyone's money. We're not doing any illegal business. That knowledge of knowing that I'm doing the right thing in the eyes of God, I'm ensuring that people get the right cars. It really keeps me going because there's so many challenges in this business. At times you'll have a lot of pressure from clients. At times there's a lot of pressure on the other side, payments. There's a lot of pressure with the shipping. But when you know that God is on your side and God is working for your best interest, it really keeps you moving. Another motivation I have is basically my son. I have a boy who's 3 years old. He really likes cars. So every time I look at him, I'm always telling myself I need to really work hard so that when I'm gone, at least he will continue with the legacy. Lastly but not least, the fear of going broke. For starters, I don't really come from a very rich background. A lot of people think I come from a rich background, but I don't come from a rich background. So I grew up in Kawangware for that was like 18 years. So growing up, I saw a lot of poverty. You see, and it really made an impression on me. So when I finished my Form 4, I always told myself I really need to work hard so that I can live the best life. After you see your parents suffer trying to look for money, it really hurts you. So you really wouldn't want the same thing on your own children or on your own family. So every time I wake up and I remember what I went through, it really puts me, it really keeps me going. I will tell these young entrepreneurs, everything takes time. You cannot wake up one day and make it. You will struggle. The struggle is real out here. Personally for me, tumekuwa na challenges nyingi when you are doing freelance. You start as a broker, people don't pay you your commissions, people don't take you seriously, people talk trash about you. But the difference between us and those people who gave up along the way is mostly that we always kept it going. So I can tell them to persevere because it really takes time. Some of them want to come into the industry today, na maybe after 2 months umefungua your own company, but it doesn't work like that. You need to work hard. And another thing I'd also encourage young entrepreneurs is to take advantage of the internet. Because right now we have things like Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Facebook. This is the future. The whole world is going digital. So I will tell them waweke effort kwa online kwa sababu sasa unajua like our parents walikuwa watu wa kuona vitu kwa TV, kwa magazeti, but now hii generation yetu we buy everything online. So we need to put more effort in doing more business online. As I've mentioned earlier, I tell them to put God first. In everything you do, you need to be honest. You see, when I say put God first, it doesn't mean that you're just going to pray and that's it. First of all, you need to work hard. You need to be a honest person. You need to do what? like you just try and be a good human, you know, usifanye vitu illegal, you know, don't try to undercut other people, just be a good human, just try and live a good life. So my day typically begins at 9 a.m. or 8:30 in some days, on some days when I get to the office. So first thing I normally do, I'll come open my diary, and then I'll try and check which clients we were attending to during the previous day. Because in most cases, when you're doing custom importation, you have to do a lot of follow-ups, because we typically get a lot of inquiries. So you have to go through each inquiry, see if you can assist the client. If it's a quote, you give out the quote. If someone wants to come and view the vehicle, you also have to schedule with the client, ensure that the vehicle is ready for a test drive, ensure it has insurance, there's enough fuel on the vehicle. Another thing we also do, we also have to go through all our social media platforms. I have to check the Facebook, see whether, you know, the sales team is attending to the clients. So I need to check the Instagram, make sure that at least we have a response rate of on the lower side at least 90%. So yeah, typically the day, okay, it's very hard to predict how a day can go as a car dealer, because you see our work entails doing a lot of things. There are times I'll come here, I'll attend to very many clients. On other days we won't really have many clients walking in, but you'll find on such days I'll get a lot of calls. Again, there are those days when we actually go to the field. Maybe we want to go test vehicles as a team. We go out, drive the cars, maybe try to find out if there's any problem with any of the vehicles. At times we'll also go for a photo shoot. We'll also go and meet clients in the field, because there are some clients, maybe due to the nature of their work, they're not able to come to the office directly. So in such instances, you have to go out of your way as the seller. So we normally make such arrangements. We take vehicles to the clients. And again, I also really enjoy driving the cars, because it gives me, I really like to know how a certain vehicle handles, so that I'm able to understand it. You know, it's very difficult to sell a product and you haven't used it. You don't know how it operates. Yeah, so if we are not in the office, mostly we're in the field. But at any given point, there's always someone in the office to attend to the clients. And yeah, and we ensure that our staff are up to date. They know how to give the right quotes, and they know how to handle our clients.
And then your day ends at...
Oh, by day. Sawa. So hapo sinaweza pick up, Yeah. So my day, as I've mentioned earlier, my day starts at 9, but I don't have a definite time when my day ends. There are times when I leave the office at 1 a.m., 12 a.m. Yeah, at times you have to go that extra length, because you see now, due to issues with the time difference, when we are closing down in Nairobi, it's already in the wee hours of the morning in places like Japan. And you see, at times there's a vehicle you're trying to purchase in Japan on the auction, so you have to be up very early, or you have to stay up very late, so that you're able to communicate with our suppliers in Japan. Because you'll find in some cases, when it's maybe 3 a.m. 3 a.m. in the morning in Nairobi, it's roughly, say, 9 a.m. in Japan. So there are times when we will leave very early, we will leave very late in the office, but typically on an average day we normally leave at 6 p.m. Then you see now, again, because of the curfew and all of this corona madness, we cannot also stay too long in the office, because we also need to respect the curfew. Yeah, but typically I'd say the earliest I leave the office is 6.
Even in these uncertain times, when the world is fighting COVID-19, we must remember that every single human deserves to live a long and healthy life. And at Lotto Foundation, we have done everything in our power to help our fellow Kenyans. Thanks to you, we have donated